Hey everybody, it's Felisa, and I want to be very transparent and say that I recorded a version of this vlog this morning, and I have since had some new developments, and so I think it's important to update it and be as honest as possible. So, this is going to be my start of VLOGMAS. I'm going to go back and try and upload some additional vlogs. I do have several that I just haven't posted for whatever reason. So I want to try and do VLOGMAS this year. Anyway, here we go. So, mini story time. Back in August, I was in, I had a car accident. I was rear-ended. My son and I were coming back from seeing Wicked, which if y'all haven't seen that, it's amazing. Nothing like the book, so there's that, but it was still a really good show. I was very pleased. It was a well done production. Anyway, so my son and I were coming back from seeing Wicked. It was merging on from one freeway to the other so that we could get home, and we kind of have to go around this curve. And as we were going around the curve, I noticed that the far lane that you would kind of be dumped into, if that makes sense, was starting to break. I could see all the taillights because you were literally turning into construction, and you had to try and get over. Well, traffic was extremely heavy this night for whatever reason. Anyway, so when I made the turn, I realized we were stopping, so I slowed down. Eventually, I stopped because we have to merge over. Well, this person came flying around the corner, didn't realize that traffic in this far lane was pretty much at a standstill, did not have enough time to react, and slammed into the back of me, probably going about 55, 60 miles an hour. Thank goodness that, number one, my angels were looking out for me, and number two, this truck is like a tank. So even though there was some significant damage, it really wasn't cosmetic. It was like at the point of impact, it was like the parking sensors and the lift gate and stuff like that. So anyway, I did have some neck and back issues. I really had more issues with my neck, and so I did go to see an orthopedic physician, and then had to go to PT for a while, and it was getting better. Fast forward, I always had like this little twinge in my back, but me being who I am, you know, I've just learned to play with a lot of pain over life period. Like, I don't have time to just be, you know, babying myself. I have to get things done. So I went to Africa a week or so ago. I'll be uploading a vlog about that because it was amazeballs. But went to Africa, and the flight there, the first leg of the flight was like an hour and some change. Okay, that was cool. The second leg of the flight was 10 hours. Get there, there's a whole bunch of walking, as you can imagine. And then to travel from, you know, place to place and city to city, we had to take this van. And so, you know, the van was, you know, it was a passenger van, but the seating was very narrow. And, you know, we would be on this van for a couple of hours over some pretty rough terrain. And so, you know, we did that over the week that we were there. And then flying home, we routed through Amsterdam. So from Africa to Amsterdam was about a 6-hour flight. And then we had a 7-hour layover in the airport. And then we flew from Amsterdam to home, and that was another like 8 hours. So I get home, and I'm still feeling like this twinge. My back is tightening up. I'm just thinking, you know, I'm fat, I'm old, you know, whatever. Sunday, I'm preparing to go to an event for my son. You know, going up in the attic, which is literally, you know, like basically a scene right out of Annabelle or The Exorcist or something, because I have like the pull down steps, and you gotta go up there, and I always imagine there's some giant spider that's been up there waiting for like a year to snap my head off. Don't stress me, I have an overactive imagination. But anyway, so I climb up there, I get all my Christmas decorations, and I'm coming down the stairs, and I'm like, oh God, my back really feels, it felt like pressure and heavy. Anyway, by Sunday night, I could not walk. Like, I literally could not walk. So a friend of mine came over, By the time he left, I thought I was dying. Like, I literally thought I had some kind of spinal cord injury and was gonna be a quadriplegic. Like, this pain was searing. It was so intolerable. So I'm chewing on Motrin and, you know, whatever. And so, you know, he said, you should take FMLA. And I'm looking at him like, I ain't taking no doggone family medical leave for a back. Like, I got stuff I gotta do. And he looked at me, he said, you really do have single motheritis. So I'm like, whatever, dude. So he texts me the next day to check on me. He's working, I'm working, so, you know, we're texting. And, you know, I'm telling him, like, you know, he said, how are you? I said, I'm really in a lot of pain. Like, I'm not doing well. But I'm not making the connection between what I'm actually saying and what he's hearing. So he basically said, do this for me. Avoid the tendency to have single motheritis. Go check that out. There's nothing more important than you, your health, and your well-being, or something along those lines. It was really sweet, but the first thing that I thought about was, who are you talking to? Like, who's gonna pay these bills? Who's gonna come over and do this, that, and the third? Like, that's the first rundown that I have. Like, mom doesn't have an opportunity to be sick. Mom doesn't have an opportunity to be out of commission. That's not a thing. We keep pushing. And so, you know, I responded with like a startled face emoji, like, what? And then I just said, yes, sir, which is very atypical for me. But I processed that, at least initially in that moment, and then I've been processing it as time has gone on. So I vlogged this morning and I said, you know, to my single mothers, you know, we have to avoid the tendency to suffer from single mama-itis, and I got to get this done. I have to do all of this. I have to, you know, rise to the occasion. If I don't do it, who's going to do it? And all of those thoughts, I understand, and I have them 24/7. I don't know how to depend on anyone. I don't know if I can depend on anyone. I don't like feeling as though when I put my trust in someone, they don't do what they said that they're gonna do, or, you know, I have to nag them and run behind them and ask them to keep doing things like that. That's so annoying to me, and I know that is difficult for a lot of you guys. But the reason that I'm doing this update to this vlog is a couple of reasons. I should have listened to him. I did go to ED yesterday, and, you know, I declined. You know, basically he was like, well, we could give you something stronger and give you a few days of opioids. Well, I work in healthcare. I understand that there's an opioid crisis. I also understand that a couple of doses does not cause you to be an addict. I'm also aware that opioids aren't necessarily prescribed in the best way for pain, and all medication does is to mask the symptoms, and I need to know what the problem is so that we can fix it. Chronic pain is not my idea of a fun life. So I declined the opioids. I sent a message to my orthopedic doc this morning, but, you know, I literally this morning I was like, thank goodness for him. Thank goodness, you know, for him checking me. Thank goodness that I was in a place where I could actually receive from someone who I believe cares about me, and cares about me enough to say, girl, stop it. You know, you have a support system. There's no reason in the world why you can't depend on the people that care about you and people that love you to get things done. I heard him, but I really didn't hear him because I very politely had my behind in the car on my way to work this morning. Let me tell you what happened. So I drive about 40 minutes to get to work in the morning, mostly due to traffic. That drive to work this morning almost killed me. I had absolutely zero business being in this car. None whatsoever. By the time I got to work, I had to sit in the parking lot because I could not get out the car. So I get out the car, finally, walks, you know, slowly into my office. Of course, I'm looking crazy. Everybody's like, are you okay? Which I hate. So, but I'm not attention seeking, so, you know, like, carry on, go about your business. So I run, not only do I run into just about all my doggone coworkers, but our vice president, our senior vice president, is like, why are you walking so slowly? I'm like, girl, like, why are you in this hall when I'm here? So, you know, I'm explaining to her. She's like, oh, you know, that's really terrible. Yes, it is. Let me just get to my office. And I really thought if I got to my office, you know, got some Motrin in my system, had a little breakfast, I'll be fine. When I tell you, I lasted probably 2 hours and was in effing tears. I couldn't sit. I got to the point where I couldn't stand. Like, I was trying to get out this chair. It was just, I finally couldn't do it anymore. So I'm like, I gotta go. So I'm getting ready to go. I'm trying to get myself in the frame of mind to walk across the parking lot again to get into this car. And one of my staff members happened to be in the hallway. And she said, do you need some help? And under normal circumstances, I'd be like, no, girl, I got it. And, you know, my friend's voice popped in my head. Let people help you. Stop being such a single mama. So I just shook my head, yes. She went and got her jacket. She dragged my little rolly cart, my little Erica Badu bag out for me. She said, do you want me to go get your car? I burst out in tears because I don't know why I couldn't ask her to do it, but just the fact that she offered, and there was no way, y'all. I literally was getting ready to stop at security and ask them if they had a wheelchair to take me to my car, because I was not going to make it. Not gonna make it. So I waited downstairs or out front for her to run to the parking lot and get my car. And so I'm updating this vlog for that particular reason, because a lot of times, moms, we get into this mode of needing to do it ourselves for whatever reason. And you know what's so funny and what's so full circle about this lesson that I'm finally getting I'm finally getting this lesson and really understanding it is this. Before my ex and I broke up, I told him, I said, you know, you have a need to do everything on your own in order for you to say that you didn't have any help. And so you get all of the credit for doing it against all odds. When you have people in your life, myself included, who love you and want to help you, well, pot me kettle. So I'm so thankful for, you know, my friend pulling my coattails, explaining to me that it was necessary for me to let people in, you know, in a very, very terse and upset way. So I just want to let him know I heard you. And I'm on my way home. I'm getting ready to get my behind in the bed. I'm going to take this Flexeril and this Motrin, get on this heating pad, pray for better days. But sincerely, you know, those of you all who are single moms, who are used to doing it yourselves, and in wanders people who love you into your life and want to help you, please let them. Stop telling them no. Like, there's no extra brownie points and no cookies and no kudos. You don't get no extra money in your check for being a martyr. You just don't. I hope everyone is having a splendid Tuesday. I will talk to y'all later on. Bye.